this afternoon. Give him a big warm welcome as he stands up, your best man, Ben!
Can everyone hear me? Can anyone hear me? Is it on? Is it on? Yeah. Right. The last 3 or 4 months, James has told me, because I've said, how risky can we do these speeches? And he said, well, don't go PG, I'm going to be really filthy. So I've gone filthy, and I don't want to come across as a sex offender, but we'll just see how it goes. If you want to stop me, just stop me, it's fine. Right. For those of you that don't know me, my name's Ben. I have the misfortune of being today's best man. When I wrote this, I completely forgot that there would be some children here today. With that in mind, I should really just sit down. They're not my kids, so we'll give it a go. In all fairness, parents, after hearing the speech, if your children have questions or want to know the meaning of phrases such as shallow penetration, stealth masturbation, or if they simply want to know the quickest way to burn semen into their parents' carpet whilst they're on holiday, don't worry Mike, it was your old house. I'll be at the bar, so just come see me. I warned you, so. I wasn't going to mention that last bit, but James took great satisfaction a couple of months ago by piling on the pressure and telling me there'd be a videographer here today filming the speeches. He knows I get nervous, so an insight into how my mind works. I thought it'd be funny that in 20 years' time, when James and Sophie sit down together to reminisce, share some memories, look at the photographs, throw on the DVD, and halfway into that, there'll be me saying the word semen. Done it again, sorry. I don't feel bad though, because James has gone completely against my wishes and booked one of those cameras that adds £10. So I certainly won't be watching this back. Alright, let's get the clean. I want to take this moment to say how fantastic the bridesmaids look. Tell you that singing earlier was brilliant. It was probably the highlight of my day so far. So hot. As Sophie's sisters, I'm sure you take great fulfilment in knowing that from today onwards, if you ever do anything wrong to cross your parents, you can always fall back on the line. Yeah, but Sophie married James. So. How fantastic do the little guys look today? James. I've had a few drinks. Jacob, Amelie, Olivia, Stanley and Darcy. And to me, you've made the day a lot more special. It's been really good. But obviously, they're all eclipsed by the beautiful blushing bride, Sophie, who looks absolutely stunning today. The biggest compliment I can give you is I fancy most of my mates' wives, but you, my friend, are no exception, so congratulations. Well done. Right, some background information. As James said, we've known each other for the best part of 30 years. Primary school, secondary school, sixth form, university, and even lived together. It's been tough, I'll be honest. A lot of people who I know describe him like a turd that won't flush. But I beg to differ, because eventually, even by calling a plumber or crushing it yourself with a coat hanger, it'll inevitably fade away. But I'm still 30 years on, and he's stuck with me. I can't get rid of him, so I see no light at the end of the tunnel, to be honest. So hot. Can I take my trousers off? Will anyone have a problem with that? It's too hot. So hot. Saying all that, it's probably my own fault that I'm stood up here today. 9 years ago, I asked him to be my best man. I remember agonising over it quite a lot, because I realised whoever I did ask, it was likely to try and return the favour and ask me to be best man later down the line. The thought of being a best man makes me sick in my mouth, to be honest. It's not a nice experience. Can't wait to get it over with. But I thought long and hard with that in mind, and I thought, right, well, just go for the person who's most likely to end up single, living in his mum's spare room, and spending his nights with his pants down to his ankles watching Hollyoaks. I got the last bit right, but somehow he's managed to pull Sophie out the bag, and to be honest, even today, it still baffles me, because I think if we're being honest, he's not just punching above his weight, he's punching above mine. So they're one of those couples, if you see walking down the street, you automatically think he's either minted or he's hung like a shire horse. I'll be honest, I know for a fact the latter's not true, which leads me to one of my strangest memories of James. 10 years ago, probably our last night out, it was absolutely battered, steaming, and we couldn't find a taxi anywhere, so I called my wife Sam to pick us up. And I remember stumbling into the passenger seat of the car, only to be greeted by the sight of James flopping his penis out onto the bonnet. Flopping's probably been generous, so if I'm being brutally honest, it's probably smaller than mine. And mine's nothing to shout out about, last time I saw it. Anyway, enough talk about willies, save that for later. Right, so being best man. Having done this role before, I've come to the conclusion that I must do some kind of natural charisma that people just can't get enough of. Ladies, don't get too excited. As I said, I am married, so unless you're at least a solid 4 out of 10, keep on walking. When James asked me to be best man, he'll be probably the first to tell you I wasn't particularly over the moon. It's a load of hassle you don't really need. If I'm being honest, what do I get out of it? The waistcoat? Really? I'm not trendy enough to pull one of these off. The fact that I still use the word trendy emphasises that. Don't get me started on the trousers. They're that tight they may as well be painted on. Don't be surprised if you see me stood up eating a meal, because it's going to be too risky sitting down. It'll be an absolute massacre. The one thing worse than doing this speech was probably having to organise the stag do. I despise group messages. Obviously I needed one to get everyone together, get people to agree on locations, prices and all that stuff. There's always one person who looks at it, sees it all and doesn't respond. The weeks go by, message, message, message. He's seen it, he's not responded. I started questioning myself, thinking, is it me? Am I coming across wrong in the messages? I'll be honest, it led to a few sleepless nights and a lot of comfort eating. But I'm not going to name the person today or put him on the spot, but if he wants to buy me a drink later at the bar, I'll have a Disaronno and Coke, Anthony. In all fairness, if James was about to become my new brother-in-law, I'd struggle to attend the wedding, never mind the stag do. Speaking of the stag do, I'd like to thank everyone who came on James' local do. I know a lot came from Scarborough, and it was a lovely couple of hours. For those who don't know, James got absolutely battered and threw up all over a pub, and we had to get his mum to come and pick him up. I later heard when he got home he soiled himself, but don't quote me on that. Also, I'd like to thank everyone who came to Magaluf. It made for some great memories. For those of you who've not been to Magaluf, if you're a fan of drugs, piss-soaked dance floors, or aggressive prostitutes, then I thoroughly recommend it. At this point, I'd like to thank the two ushers, Stu and Matt, for helping me organise it, and you're looking lovely today, fellas. But I'm not going to go into too much detail about the stag, because I'm not one to learn a turn, so it would ruin the day. Right, where am I now? There we go. Right, as best man, it's probably best I offer Sophie some advice to taking James into married life. Number one, if you can, remove him from social media. A couple of years ago, his rugby team, Hull FC, got to some kind of final. I'm not big on rugby. But I remember him being very excited about it because he was going to Wembley and he dug out all his old shirts. I think he had about 18 of them. And I can forgive if he threw all the shirts on the bed, took a quick picture and put it to a Facebook vote, which shirt he should wear. It's fine, he's excited. What I can't forgive is him posting 18 mirror selfies of himself wearing the shirts with the line, all still fit, some very baggy. I'll be honest, I came close to unfriending him that day, in life, not just on Facebook. But yeah, it's not good for anyone, so if you can remove him, Sophie, that'd be great. Right. Never trust him with money, he's absolutely awful with it. A few years ago I went on a stag do to Prague and he somehow managed to rip the equivalent of a £50 note in half, and with that he had to borrow 50 off our friend Mark to get him through the rest of the trip. And then he had the misfortune of going home to Sophie and saying, oh look, I've ripped to 50, I've ripped to 50 so we owe Mark 50 quid. I say ripped, a lot of people say ripped, and some say I borrowed 50 off a friend to go for 2 lap dances. Tomato. But in all honesty, Sophie, I wouldn't trust him with the window cleaner money, because he'll somehow find a way to find his head buried between some bloke's legs, one way or the other. Right, it's only right that me and the ushers give James some advice to prepare him for the disappointment of marriage. This is nothing to do with me, I'm just going to read these out. So the first one is from the usher Stu. There he is. Right, here we go. So finally you were married, for better or worse. You couldn't have done any better, and Sophie couldn't have done any worse. As a married man myself, I wanted to share some useful advice. My 2 golden rules. Rule number 1, your wife is always right, always. Rule number 2, if you ever think she is wrong, punch yourself in the bollocks and remind yourself of rule number 1. Next, when Sophie says what, it's not because she hasn't heard you, she has given you the chance to change your answer, so please God take it. If Sophie says, do what you want, do not do what you want. Instead, don't move, blink or breathe, just play dead. Finally, remember this, happy wife, happy life. Notice nothing rhymes with happy husband. Welcome to the club, you silly dickhead. Enjoy the shitstorm. Right, now for the second usher, Matt. He's quite the wordsmith, so get strapped in. James, get used to masturbation. Yep, straight to the point. If I was to have any advice to you, it'd be, well, believe it or not, women are not always right. But, however, if you find yourself cornered and losing an argument, the key is to deflect. Bring up something that really rattles the cage, something from a previous argument. If you're struggling, call them fat, that works. And with that, they will absolutely lose their shit. They will go mental and either storm off upstairs or storm out the house. Either way, you've gone from losing an argument to suddenly having the TV to yourself for the night. So, you're welcome. The truth is, you guys, you don't need any tips or advice, you're already winning. You've got 2 beautiful children, Emily, and where is Jacob? There he is. And you've been through so much already together that makes me think that you can and will survive anything. James, you're one of the strongest people I know, not physically. To me, you're like a star in the sky. I don't always see you, but I know you'll always be there. That sounded a lot better when I wrote it down. Yeah, that's not good. I'll go with my original, we'll go back. Hang on a second. James, to me, you're like a condom. I know you'll always protect me when things get hard. That's better. Keep it seedy. No, in all seriousness, it's a real honour to be part of your special day. And I'm so proud to be your best man. And I wish you both a lifetime of happiness. Right, where are we? Right, yeah, so all that nice stuff. You two are meant to be together, if I'm being honest. I don't know how the hell you deal with him, Sophie. However, if you do decide to have a quick fire divorce, don't ask me to be best man again. But, right, we'll get to it. Right, after all the talk of Ted and semen, I'm sure you're all itching for the food to come out. So with that in mind, if you could raise your glasses. James, Sophie, may the best, may you live each day like it's your last, and live each night like it's your first. May the best day of your past be the worst day of your future. To the new Mr. and Mrs. Wilde. Cheers.
Oh, yes.
I've got a line. Hang on. Right. It just leaves me to say I hope you all enjoy the rest of the day. And as for tonight, when it's all over, let's hope James is in a fit enough state to perform in the bedroom. Because I shared a wall with him for 2 years, and the only person I heard satisfied was himself. So, cheers.